Sir Taguba, ito bang sinasabi mong marami kami na hinabla? Pulong Duterte,
Yes, Your Honor.
you did? And Manscarpio.
Yes, Your Honor. Si Pulong Duterte ang mag-aayos ng magbibigay ako ng pera sa kanila. Si Manscarpio, nababanggit din nila kasi pupunta rin sa BOC, nag-aayos din ng mga alerts. Pero hindi niya sinabi na kinuha niya yung 5 milyon at yun, sabi niya, dinala niya kay Pulong. Kasi nga po, yung pag-raid nila doon, kalokohan nga po eh. Ni-raid nila, kinuha nila yung na-assist nila yung shabu, pero wala po silang kinasuhan. Yung warehouse, yung may-ari ng warehouse, hanggang ngayon, wala. Ewan kung nasan na siya, nasa China na raw o ano.
Are you convicted already? Convicted?
Yes, Your Honor.
I see. May we know ilang taon po ba naging sentensya nyo?
Sinintensyahan po ako ng life.
Oh Lord. Life sentence.
Unang-unang nagbigay ako sa kanila. Nagpunta akong Davao, so binigay ko yung pera kay Small. So,
How much is that money?
5 million.
5 million. What is
So-
the purpose of you giving that 5 million to Small?
Yun yung sinabi nila sa akin, ibigay yung 5 million. Susunduin
Anong
ka din ni
kapalit?
Jack.
Anong kapalit ng 5 million na yon? Why are you giving Small 5 million?
Yun nga, para mapapasok na daw sa Davao Group, kasi kung hindi ka kasama sa kanila, i-alert nila yung mga containers mo. So, hindi ka makakapag-transaction sa Bureau of Customs.
Mr. Taguba, do you confirm that you're the same Taguba who was convicted for smuggling of shabu?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you stand still with the statements that you have given in this judicial affidavit? I believe this is dated August 27, 2024. Ito po ba'y pinaninindigan nyo pa rin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Mr. Taguba, please walk us through. Bago po ba kayo na-involve dito sa kasong ito? Nasaan po kayo? Anong ginagawa nyo? Please start with EMT. What is EMT?
EMT trading, for Your Honor, is a consignee for hire. So, pinagagamit nila yung consignee nila for a royalty fee. So, nakilala ko yung si Irene May Tatad doon sa kanyang parang ano yata niya. Kapatid ba niya? Hindi ko na maalala sa kamag-anak niya.
Firstly, what does EMT stands for? It's an acronym, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
What does it stand for?
Hindi ko po alam eh.
I found names here which appear to be consistent with these initials. If you will confirm, does it stand for Irene, TJ, and Mark?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
But do you confirm that TJ and Irene used to be your partners?
TJ is my broker. I'm not a
Your?
Yes. We have hindi po ako broker kasi yun ang binabansag sa akin sa media na ako ay customs broker, nagpakilala akong customs broker. Ang negosyo ko po is talaga tracking. So, si TJ yung broker. Siya po talaga yung sign, siya po yung mas nakakaalam sa proseso sa customs.
TJ is the broker, you are the tracker.
Yeah.
Si Irene po.
Si Irene May Tatad naman, siya po yung consignee.
Do you work together?
Si TJ, kasi ano ko siya eh. Sa kanya ako nag-refer, nagtatanong. Pagka may nagtatanong sa akin na client tungkol sa mga parating nila, tatanong ko sa kanya. Si Irene naman, royalty fee lang talaga siya eh. So pinagamit niya yung kanyang consignee para sa royalty fee. Kada container na darating, meron siyang royalty fee.
So who owns this EMT trading?
Si Irene May Tatad po.
Si Irene.
Opo.
And then you and TJ just work with her, without necessarily being partners with that EMJ trading, EMT trading.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tama po. In your affidavit, you made mention about this green lane, yellow lane, and red lane. I believe that in the previous hearings, Mr. Guban already testified on this. And I wish to hear if you have the same concept and information that you will share pertaining to these 3 lanes. Green lane, yellow lane, and red lane.
Hindi ko po narinig yung sinabi niya. So, Green lane yun, wala, hindi na siya subject for inspection.
No physical inspection
No physical-
and no document inspection
No
as well.
document inspection.
That is green lane.
Yellow lane, kung di po ako nagkakamali, sa ano lang, document lang. Tapos red lane, kailangan ng
Wait,
physical.
for yellow lane, you're exempted from the physical inspection, but you are not exempted from the document inspection.
Yes.
Okay?
Then, from red lane, kailangan na ng physical inspection.
And of course, if I am the shipper or the importer, I would want that my shipment be always released through the green lane. Kasi doon mabilis. Walang inspection ng shipment, walang inspection ng document. How do I avail of this green lane?
Ako po talaga, hindi ko yung paano talaga makapunta dito sa green lane. Pero, nung time ko kasi, yun nga, nagbigay kami ng, tama bang?
Are you saying, Mark, that you never experienced using this green lane?
Halos lahat po nung shipments ko, green lane po.
And that is because you submitted to the TARA system.
Yes.
Tama po ba?
Opo.
So, ibig sabihin for a time being, lahat ng mga pinaparelease mong shipment, walang physical inspection, walang document inspection, what is the consideration involved?
Yun po, may TARA system po sa BOC.
And how does TARA system work?
So, weekly, magbibigay ka kada container na re-release mo, napaparating mo.
Is
So,
it per container or per value of what is inside the container?
per container?
Per container.
Opo.
How much per container?
Iba-iba po kasi. So, iba-ibang
Iba-iba depending on?
departamento. So, nakalagay po dito yun. May mga text messages po ako. Mga
Yes,
screenshots.
you mentioned a lot of offices. Can you please enlighten us on this? Anong mga opisina kailangang magbigay? Tama ba yung tanong ko, Mark?
Opo.
And
So,
that is what TARA system is all about?
Yes, Your Honor. So,
What offices are you referring to here?
So, tinitignan ko po itong affidavit ko. Ito lang yung mga naalala ko. IG, ESS, Collector, CIIS. Alam ko na
You
breakdown
mentioned
ko
in
na-
paragraph 15 of your affidavit, MICP, SSPDC, COMSEN, CIIS, CIIS District, IPRD, IG, ESS, ESS District, FED, AOCG, and IAS. If you total the token that you will be giving to all these offices for one container, Mark, magkano yun?
May breakdown po kasi ako nito dati. Your
At
Honor.
least the approximate amount. Are you trying to tell us na kada office iba yung amount?
Yes, Your Honor. Iba.
I see. But you can at least give us an approximate amount. The total amount that you give for one container to cover all these offices. I believe these are 11 or 12 offices.
Matagal na po kasi pero naalala ko po kasi lahat po kasi ng container ko, uniform po yung ano niya eh. Yung
Flat rate.
binabayad So 170,000
Per container.
per container. So kailangan ko pong kasi kagabi lang po yung ano eh, yung kagabi ko lang nalaman na pupunta ako dito. Nagulat po kasi
I
ako.
understand.
Hindi ako handa.
Can you give us an approximate number of containers na napaparating mo in a month?
Sa isang linggo, maabot ako ng 100 eh,
Wow.
na container.
That's 1 week only?
Opo.
So, if 170,000 per container and you have 100 containers for 1 week, how much is that? 17 million?
Mga ganun po. Hindi ko po pera yun. Hindi ko po pera yun. Kumbaga,
Yeah, I know.
nagpa-process lang naman ako eh.
But that's how huge
Opo, ganun po yung pumapasok na
the
pera.
amount the TARA system generate.
Opo.
Only for you to be able to avail of this green lane. Tama po ba?
Opo.
And I wish to emphasize that here you are, you're just one person facilitating the release.
Yes, Sir Honor.
Eh, mga ilan ho ba yung nagfa-facilitate ng release?
Marami po kami.
In a day, can you give us an approximate number? Ilan po yung nagfa-facilitate ng release?
Alam ko po, nagbigay rin si Senator Lacson ng kanyang sariling flowchart. So, based doon, parang, basta sobrang dami namin, siguro mga 500 containers sa mga ganun niya. Ang nakikita ko, sa base sa kanyang, nilabas na report sa isang linggo. Parang,
And of course, Mr. Taguba, you will agree with me if I would say that the Philippine government is losing a lot of money because of this green lane, because it deprives the government the opportunity to assess correctly the shipment or importation.
yes, Your Honor.
Tama?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I know that I have manifested this concern before during our, I believe, hearing on dangerous drugs committee. But I wish to reiterate, Mr. Chair, that I believe it is high time we revisit the charter of the Bureau of Customs. Should I make a motion, Mr. Chair?
At the moment, I was informed that I think the Quintacom is looking into proposing some amendments into the charter of the Bureau of Customs. And if there are any observations or any information that we can share with the Quintacom, I guess the Quadcom will do that, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Taguba, you also mentioned in your affidavit that for quite some time, wala kang nare-receive na alert on your shipment. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I suppose that that is because of the TARA system to which you submitted yourself.
Yes, Your Honor.
However, after some time, biglang nakaka-receive ka na ng alert.
Yes, Your Honor.
In other words, nagkakaproblema yung release ng mga shipment mo.
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you do?
Minsan, ang ginagawa lang nila yan para, kasi pagka may alert, pupunta ka sa kanila, aaregluhin mo. So parang form lang ng additional na bayad sa kanila.
Additional SOP? Tama
para
ba
lang
yun?
ma-release yung container. Parang lambing siguro, parang gano'n yung lumalabas.
Ang mahal
alert
naman
ka.
nila lumambing.
Oo.
They will annotate something on your document to
Opo.
make sure that, you said that in your affidavit, they're leaving the number in your document to make sure that you call them
Yes,
so you will be able to settle whatever requirement is being asked of you. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then after some time, lalong tumindi yung problema mo. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
About facilitating the release of shipment. May kinausap kang tao. Sino itong mga taong ito?
Ang una ko pong nakausap po dito si Jojo Bacud.
Jojo Bacud.
Opo, nagpakilala po siya na sa SSPDC. Tapos pinakilala niya ako dun sa Davao Group. Sila Tita Nani nga. Yan, sila Jack, sila Noel. Silang apat yung mga minute ko. Sinabi
How many
niya,
times did you visit Davao City during that time that you're trying to seek help about the release of your shipment?
isang beses lang po.
Isang beses lang. And the purpose of you traveling to Davao City is what?
Kasi pinapunta nila ako dun eh.
For what
Wala
purpose?
na naman akong, sabi nila, kailangan ko raw magbigay ng tuition fee. Ganyan.
Tuition fee.
Yes. So, yun yung kanilang ginamit na word.
Tuition fee. And what is the purpose of this tuition fee?
Ayun, para ma-accept daw ako sa grupo nila. Tapos, every week, magbibigay ako sa kanila ng pera.
With your admission in this group that you are referring to, what representation did they give you in relation to the challenges that you are experiencing with regards to the release of your shipment?
Unang-una, nagbigay ako sa kanila. Nagpunta akong Davao, so binigay ko yung pera kay Small. So,
How much is that money?
5 million.
5 million. What is
So-
the purpose of you giving that 5 million to Small?
Yun yung sinabi nila sa akin. Ibigay yung 5 million. Susunduin
Anong
ka din ni
kapalit?
Jack.
Anong kapalit ng 5 million na yon? Why are you giving Small 5 million?
Yun nga, para mapapasok na daw sa Davao Group. Kasi kung hindi ka kasama sa kanila, i-alert nila yung mga containers mo. So, hindi ka makakapag-transaction sa Bureau of Customs. So, sa pagkakaintindi ko, lahat ng players ginawa yun. Kailangan
By lahat ng players, are you referring to all people who are engaged in facilitating release of shipment? Yun ba ibig
Oo,
sabihin mo?
yung po mga pinakita ni Senator Lacson noon, sila Kimberly, yan, sila Teves, yan, sila Manny Santos, yung mga players yan eh. So, yun yung ibig ko sabihin, kailangan nilang magbigay doon sa Davao Group. Yun yung pagkakaintindi ko. Kasi kung parang sila na yung bagong customs eh. Kailangan mo sa kanila dumaan lahat eh. Ginawa kasi nila, binago uli nila yung sistema, nagkaroon ng command center. So, parang sila na lang yung pwedeng mag-alert.
Nasaan po itong command center na binabanggit nyo?
Sa customs po yun.
Sa loob.
Oo, ginawa nilang, sa ano yun eh, nung time lang ni Fieldon yun eh, ni Commissioner Fieldon.
Is Commissioner Feldon still here? So you were saying they established this command center right inside the Bureau of Custom, which has the control over alerting whichever shipment they want?
Yes. Sila lang, pagkakaalala ko, sila lang yung nakakapag-alert na nun.
By sila, who are you referring to?
Yung command center, ComCen.
And who are these people behind this command center, Mr. Taguba?
Nakalimutan ko na yung... Na-invite din siya sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee nun eh. Nakalimutan ko na yung pangalan niya eh.
If this is an ordinary person, I suppose that she will not be able to do that without somebody who's a big person behind him. Tama pa po ba? Papasok ka ng Bureau of Custom, magtatayo ka ng command center, and then you will have the control to alert the shipments coming into the port. Tama po ba? Somebody must be behind him.
Yes, Your Honor. Pero pagkakaalam ko, sila Commissioner Fieldon yung gumawa nun eh. Parang hindi naman siya, parang legal na, sa legal, meron bang ano yun eh.
You cannot
Sa
tell
batas,
whether it is
oo.
legal or illegal.
Yes. Kasi yung ibang yung mga IG, EG, medyo humina na yung authority nila dahil nga yung command center na lang yung nagko-control ng mga alerts.
I see. And after this payment of 5 million to Small, ano pong nangyari na doon sa mga transaction nyo? Sa shipment nyo sa BOC?
So, noong una naayos siya, maganda. Nagkaroon uli ng problema. Tapos, nirefer na naman nila ako, itong sila Tita Nani. Pinakilala naman nila ako doon kay Big Brother. Yun nga, si Allen Kapuyan. Nakamit ko siya. So, yun, pinakilala nila ako sa kanya. Siya na raw ang bagong under ko na naman. So, hindi na rin ako sigurado sa ginagawa nila, pero nung kay Big Brother naman, naayos din yung shipment. Hanggang sa dumating naman yung problema na ito, yung kinakaharap ko ngayong kaso, na nangyaring raid sa Valenzuela. Ayun, doon na po natapos yung...
Are you referring to the 6.4, no, the 604 kilogram of shabu?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that is the reason why you are you convicted already? Convicted?
Yes, Your Honor.
I see. May we know ilang taon po ba naging sentensya nyo?
Sinintensyahan po ako ng life.
Oh Lord. Life sentence. And that is equivalent to 20 years and 1 day to 40 years. Tama, Honorable Flores? How old are you, Mr. Taguba?
33 na po.
33. How long have you been in prison?
6 years.
6 years. Ibig sabihin, nag-umpisa ka makulong 27 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tama. And if we can bring back those days, anong gagawin mo to be able to avoid this very sad fate that you're going through right now?
Siguro hindi ko na pinasok sana tong ano.
Sana sa iba ka na lang nagtrabaho, ano?
Opo.
Is
Pero,
that your honest belief? Sana sa iba ka na lang nagtrabaho.
yes. At
You are so young.
tsaka very unfair yung nangyari talaga sa na-convict ako na ganito.
Okay, let us hear you. Why are you saying that this is very unfair?
Unang-una, lokohan lang yung kaso. Nung nag-imbestiga sa NBI, preliminary investigation, lahat po ng dinaanan ng kargamento, kinasuhan. So hanggang sa pinakataas, hanggang sa pinakababa. So ang kaso sa amin is conspiracy. Pero nagawa nila ng paraan na pwedeng conspiracy nga siya, pero matatanggal yung mga matataas na tao, tulad nila Commissioner Fieldon, at kami may iwan. So inilaban namin sa korte yun na bakit ganon. Ang naging ano ko lang naman, partisipasyon is nagproseso ng dokumento at may tracking, nideliver dun yung container. So, sabi ng korte, hindi kailangan na alam mo yung laman, no? Kasi mala prohibita. Okay? So, paano naman yung iba? Yung mga shipping lines, lahat-lahat, yung mga examiner. So, nagawa nila ng paraan, parang legal acrobatics, di ba? Na kabilang yung tamaan, na dapat hindi, no? So, pero ngayon, nilalabanan pa rin namin sila ng patas. So,
Do you have a pending appeal?
may apela po kami.
It's with the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court already?
Motion po kami ng inhibit. Nung tinamaan po ako, nag-inhibit po kami doon sa judge. Tapos, para ibang judge yung mag-decide ng motion for reconsideration.
So it's still with the Court of Origin, nasa Regional Trial Court pa rin. May
Yes, sir.
pending motion for reconsideration, tapos finailan nyo ng motion for inhibition yung presiding judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
In other words, you believe that you were not able to get a fair decision.
Yes,
During the
very
hearing.
unfair.
Oo. May we know, Mr. Taguba, who were originally indicted bago na-exclude yung sinasabi mo from the case? How many were you? Ilan kayo yung original na nakahabla?
Napakarami po namin eh. Kasi naalala ko noon, nung nasa NBI pa kami, nag-representa doon sa preliminary investigation. Ang dami po namin nagbibigay ng affidavit. Nandoon po sila, Commissioner Fildon, nandoon po sila Neil Estrella, Joel Pinawin. So, sabi ko nga, conspiracy, dapat lahat kami acquitted kung lahat. Kung acquit, kung ano naman, kung convict, di dapat convicted kami lahat. Kasi ganun eh, lahat ng dinaanan ng container. So,
Ito
nagawa
bang-
nila ng paraan na kami lang ang makasuhan.
Mr. Taguba, ito bang sinasabi mong marami kami na hinabla? Were you represented by one lawyer only? Or you have different lawyers?
Iba-ibang lawyer po.
Iba-iba.
Opo.
Ibig sabihin yung defenses nyo, iba-iba din.
Opo.
Depende sa strategy ng mga lawyers na humawak sa inyo, no?
Opo.
And can you please name names of those who were included in the charge, the prominent ones? Sino po yung mga kilalang tao, aside from Commissioner Faeldon, na nasama doon sa habla?
Hindi ko na po maalala lahat, pero si Commissioner Fildon yung pinaka tumatak sa akin noon. Tsaka sila Neil Estrella, tsaka si Joel Pinawin.
These are all BOC officials?
Yes, Your Honor.
And upon conviction, sinong kasama mo na lang?
Ako, si Irene, tsaka si Kenneth, tapos yung bodigero.
So there were 4 of you
Yes.
who were convicted. Budigero, the tracker, the broker, and the other one is the facilitator of your document. Kasama ba si Irene?
Yes, Your Honor.
And all the BOC officials were excluded from the charge.
Yes, Your Honor. At saka, tingin ko yun din yung dahilan. Kaya, siyempre pag lumalabas sa balita, laging customs broker Mark Taguba. So sa mga hindi nakakaintindi, siyempre pagka narinig mo yung customs, di may tinamaan na tatrabaho sa customs. So gumagana yung natin, justice system natin.
Walang BOC official na nakasama.
Wala kahit isa.
All of you were private individuals.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who was able to apprehend this shipment? Sino pong nakahuli nito?
Ang nakahuli nito, nakakatawa po kasi yung warehouse po, si Chen Julong, may-ari po noon, wala na po ata sa bansa eh. Kasi hindi po siya nakakulong, hindi po siya nakulong kailanman. Ang nahuli po nito, sila Neil Estrella, sila Commissioner Fildon, tsaka sila Joel Pinawin. Meron po silang litrato ni Chen Julong na parang body-body lang sila nung nag-raid sila doon. Hindi nila hinuli nung nag-raid sila doon. Yung si Chen Julong. Ang nangyari, tinuro kami kahit wala naman talagang prueba o ebidensya na magtuturo sa akin. So, ako nadiin.
Sino si Kenneth Dong?
Si Kenneth Dong po, yung isa sa kliyente ko po, siya po yung nag-ano sa akin nung mag-process ng container na yon, MCLU 600-1881.
So if Kenneth Dong is the one who approached you to process the release of this container, who is the owner of that container?
Siyempre nung unang pagkakaalam ko po si Kenneth Dong kasi nga siya yung kausap ko eh. So nung pumutok na po tong balita, nagkaroon ng raid sa Valenzuela, tsaka ako nalaman na, ayun nga, ang dami palang layer. So, si Chen Julong, tapos may Manili pa, tapos kung ano-ano pa eh. So, hindi ko alam talaga kung sinong may-ari nung container. Sinasabi niya si Manili. Si Manili naman may ibang tinuturo. Hindi ko alam kung kanino talaga yung container, ma'am.
But you were saying that the shipment was seized during the time that it was already in the warehouse.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who owns the warehouse?
Si Chen Julong.
Mr. Taguba, you likewise mentioned in your affidavit. Polong Duterte,
Yes, Your Honor.
you did. And Manscarpio.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you please enlighten us? Why did you mention these two names in your affidavit?
Actually, Your Honor, ang nagme-mention naman yan, yung mga personalidad na sinabi ko, sila Tita Nani and sila Jack, na, ayun nga, si Pulong Duterte ang mag-aayos nung, magbibigay ako ng pera sa kanila. Si Manscarpio, napabanggit din nila, kasi pupunta rin sa BOC, nag-aayos din ng mga alerts. So, sa kanila po galing yan, wala naman akong dahilan para itong mga taong to, sila Paulo Duterte at si Manscarpio. Ang galing po yun kila Tita Nani sa Davao Group. Yung kay Small Abiliera rin po, half-truth yung sinabi niya, sinabi na niya na nakita kami, pero hindi niya sinabi na kinuha niya yung 5 milyon at yun, sabi niya, dinala niya kay Pulong. Hindi niya sinabi yun. So, sinabi lang niya, tinanggihan ako. Wala pong katotohanan yun eh. Kinuha niya yung pera eh. So, kaya nga nagkaroon ng green lane, kaya nga uniform lahat ng taxes eh. So, siguro naman hindi mangyayari yun kung hindi totoo. Wala rin naman po akong kakayahan. Hindi naman po ako nagtatrabaho sa BOC. Hindi ko naman alam po yung kung anong ginagawa nila dyan sa computer para mangyari yun. So, wala po akong kakayahan kung ako lang po. So, ang akin lang, nagbigay ako dahil gusto ko lang makapagtrabaho.
Your personal appreciation, Mr. Taguba, who among those several indicted ang naniniwala kang involved talaga dyan sa 604 kilogram of shabu contained in the metal cylinder? Do you believe that Commissioner Faeldon is involved?
Wala po akong personal knowledge din sa mga ganyan eh. Kasi
In other words, to this state, wala kang alam kung sino talagang may-ari.
Wala po. Kasi nga po, yung pag-raid nila doon, kalokohan nga po eh. Ni-raid nila, kinuha nila yung na-assist nila yung shabu, pero wala po silang kinasuhan. Yung warehouse, yung may-ari ng warehouse, hanggang ngayon, wala. Ewan kung nasan na siya, nasa China na raw o ano.
But do you know for a fact that there were shabu which were seized during the time?
Yes, sinabi kasi nabalita ako sa TV. So, tapos biglang tumawag sa akin si Kenneth Dong. Sabi niya, oy, may mga na-seize na shabu doon daw sa container na pinrocess natin yung ganang galing. So, syempre, nagulat ako. Tapos, ayun, yun na doon nagsimula yung yung problema.
Mr. Taguba, I can feel your agony, and if the owner of that shipment is listening to you, would you like to give a message to him?
Oh.
Kahit hindi natin alam kung sino ang may-ari niyan to this date. You lost already 6 years of your life. You're so young. You haven't lived your life to the fullest, and yet you are in that situation.
Napakahirap po talaga. Kasi tingin ng mga tao sa akin, drug lord ako. Nung unang punta ko sa RGC, tinanong ko sa akin ng mga gumagawa nun dun kung pwede ba ako mag-supply sa kanila. Sabi ko, wala po talaga akong kinalaman dyan. Ang hirap. Buti sana kung ginawa ko talaga eh. Ang hirap po talaga. Kung meron man akong kasalanan, yun po yung sa Tara system. Totoo naman po lahat yun. Nagsabit po ako sa simula pa lang ng Senate hearing. Nag-cooperate na ako. Nag-request pa ako ng executive session. Binigyan pa ako ng Sergeant at Arms. Yung mga nilabas si Senator Lacson noon, hindi ko naman po kilala si Senator Lacson eh. Sarili niyang investigasyon yun eh. Mga nilabas siyang flowchart. Yun lang naman ang kasalanan ko. Di kasuhan nila ako tungkol doon. Pero hindi ako kailanman nagkaroon ng kahit anong kaso tungkol sa bribery. Kahit perjury nga lang, hindi nila ginawa eh. Siguro dahil takot sila. Palibasa, pinagte-text nila ako eh. Lahat ng text ko, binigay ko sa Senator Lacson. Pinaforensics pa niya sa Camp Crame. Meron pa akong certificate doon. Pero yung Shabu, hindi ko po talaga ginawa yan. Hindi ko po gagawin yan kailanman.
Mark, you mentioned in your affidavit that you applied to become a state witness. When was this?
Nung na-mention ko po kasi si Pulong, dati, credible witness pa po ako eh. Para sa kanila. Bago-bago pa siya na-mention. So, nung na-mention ko siya, sa hindi inaasang pagkakataon dahil sa Congress yun, bata pa po ako, at sabi nyo nga, hindi ko naman alam i-handle yung situation na yun. So, nabanggit ko siya. Lahat ng pangaharas ginawa nila sa akin. Tinanggalan pa ako ni Senator Gordon ng Sergeant at Arms. Pagkatapos kong tuturo lahat ng mga taga-BOC na tumatanggap ng tara sa akin. So, parang pinabayaan na niya ako para mamatay. So, nag-request ako kay Attorney Fortune na pakisabi na lang na mag-press conference na humihingi ako ng tawad kay Vice Mayor noon na Pulong Duterte. So, pagkatapos noon, so yung parang tingin ng tao na nag-recant ako, hindi nila alam yung totoong nangyari na grabing pangharas sa amin. Pati nanay ko balak nilang patayin. So, the day after yata nun, tumawag hindi ako nagkakamali, kinontak niya si Attorney Raymond Fortune, kinontak ni Senator Lacson para pumunta sa opisina niya sa BGC. Tapos nung nandun kami, tinanong niya ako bakit ginawa ko yun. Sinabi ko nga dahil puro nga mga death threat yung natatanggap ko. So, tapos tinanggalan pa ako Sergeant at Arms. Sabi niya sa akin, tutulungan niya mabalik yung Sergeant at Arms ko. At baka pwede rin mailagay akong state witness. So, naibalik yung Sergeant at Arms ko nun. Pero yung state witness, hinarang ni Senator Gordon. Kaya, ngayon, walang nakasuhan na customs, ako lang ang nakasuhan. Ang kinonvict nila sa akin ng kaso, itong drugs na to, na wala talaga akong kinalaman. Yung mga bagay na may mga ebidensya, yung ginawa namin ng presentation ni Senator Lacson noon, yun yung mga taong walang kaso. Mga na-promote pa, narinig ko kay, kay Jimmy. So, ganun yung naging justice dito sa Pilipinas. Ayun yung nangyari sa amin.
Is it not that the reason why your application for state witness was denied is because you recanted your statement against Pulong Duterte and Mans Carpio? Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chairman, just an interjection, just full disclosure. Mr. Mark Taguba is a witness, one of the witnesses in my illegal drug smuggling case against Mr. Pulong Duterte and Small Abiliera and the others. And right now,
Where is that pending, Senator?
it's pending with the DOJ.
see.
It's still pending.
It's due for preliminary investigation yet.
Yes, ma'am. And as for his status as for the inclusion in the witness protection program, it's also pending, Mr. Chairman. And right now, I got word from his lawyer that he is receiving threats right now from some people involved in the case. And that's why I'm going to plead on his behalf that he would be temporarily transferred into the detention facility of the House of Representatives, just so we can protect him, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman. Anyway, Mr. Chairman,
Congressman Paduano.
the manifestation of former Senator Trillanes with regards to the request, no, I also personally talked to Mark Taguba just a few minutes ago. Mr. Chairman, we will just discuss it on the admin matters. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Liwanagin ko lang, Mr. Chair. Of course, you testified before the Senate, no? Where you implicated Pulong Duterte and Mans Carpio. That is your first testimony.
In first testimony po sa Senate,
Yeah. Tama ba? That is your first testimony.
ang first testimony ko po sa Senate, yung para system po.
Yeah. But when did you start implicating Pulong Duterte and Mans Carpio?
Sa Congress na po yun. Congressional hearing po.
Oh, so there was an investigation also with the HOR.
Yes.
Okay.
I shared it.
And then, after experiencing all those harassments that you mentioned, you recanted what you said before the House of Representatives.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tama. So this will be your third.
Third,
And as far as the implication of Pulong Duterte and Mans Carpio are concerned, this is your third testimony.
Your Honor, as far as I'm concerned, wala naman nagbago dito sa sinabi ko dito. Sa
Yeah.
iba.
But there, you mentioned having recanted what you said in the first investigation because you're experiencing already a lot of harassments. Tama ba yun?
Wala po akong nirecant sa affidavit ko na kila Pulong Duterte po
In
ba?
other words, your testimony has been similar to this since the HOR investigation until your application as state witness was denied, and
Yes.
up to this time that you're appearing before the Quad. Wala nagbabago.
Wala pong nagbago, Your Honor.
I understand. Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Trillanes?
I was part of those who investigating in the Senate, and he during the press conference he just apologized to Pulong Duterte. He never recanted, and we clarified that in his next appearance in the Senate, Mr. Chairman, whether he's recanting anything from his earlier testimony. He replied in the negative, Mr.
I have nothing further, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Congresswoman. I thought you're like the ever-ready battery. Tuloy-tuloy. So, since there are no other member who wish to interpolate, unless Congressman Akop is... you recognize Congressman Akop.
Thank you, Mr. Clarification lang po. Kasi kanina ako po yung naglabas ng 13 Chinese from the apartment. Pero meron pong nag-text sa akin, I should not confuse the 13 Chinese taken from the apartment from the 11 taken sa Domoy. Yes, 13 and 11. Would that be correct, Director Quedato and General Villanueva?
Your Chair, Your Honors. Ang pagkakaalam ko lang po, yung naabutan kong briefing during the time na nasa airport po ako, 6 lang po yung namatay doon sa Dumoy. Yun lang
Yung
po ang-
namatay?
Opo, yun lang
But
po.
there
nalaman.
were, according to dito, meron pang 11 na buhay.
Wala po akong alam po doon. Wala pong briefing na natanggap ako during the time na nandoon po sa Davao, Your Honor.
General Wilkins?
Negative, Mr. Chair.
Negative. So, may I know if SPO for Val Carillo is under you or was under you during the time?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. And did you lead the raid sa Domoy?
Yes,
For the
Mr. Chair.
record? And you tell us that 6 Chinese were killed, no other Chinese arrested?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. That is for the record. Mr. Chair, may I move that I think SPO for Carillo was already will be invited.
That's correct, yes.
And may I move also that we invite Jed Pila C, currently jailed in the Cavite Women's Correctional.
Jed Pilapil C.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, there's a motion to invite Miss Jed Pilapil C in the next scheduled quad hearing. duly seconded. Any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved. So, Comsec, please send an invitation to Ms. Jed Pilapilsi via Bucor. No? I think it's under Bucor.
Mr. Chair, are we going to invite Mr. Jimmy Guban and Mr. Mark Taguba in the next hearing?
Yes, I believe they will be invited again.
Then I'll be asking questions na lang later.
Okay. Thank you, Congressman Abante. Now, Congressman Paduano, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before we proceed with the last item, on the subject matter with regards to drugs, Mr. Chairman, with the request of Mr. Taguba, because of security threat, may I move, Mr. Chairman, that we request the Bucor through Yosek Gregorio Katapang for Mr. Taguba to be transferred in the House Sergeant at Arms, Chairman, until the Quad Committee has completed its investigation or until the perceived threats for Mr. Taguba are fully eliminated. So move, Mr. Chairman.
There is a motion to
Second.
request the temporary transfer of Mr. Mark Taguba to be detained at the House of Representatives Detention Facility until we terminate the committee hearing.
Until the termination of the committee investigation or the threat in the life of Mr. Taguba is fully eliminated.
So until the committee terminates its hearing or until the threat to the life of Mr. Taguba has
Wait,
yeah, that's correct. So any second? Duly seconded. Any objections? Hearing none, the motion is carried. So, Comsec, please.
Mr. Chair.
Before that, the chair directs the Comsec to communicate to the Bucor head, General Katapang, regarding the transfer of Mr. Mark Taguba to the House of Representatives Detention Facility. Yes, Congresswoman.
Mr. Chair, I
Luistro.
overlook to give the chance to Small Abellera to comment to what Mr. Taguba said about Mr. Abellera having received this 5 million. So in the interest of fair play, Mr. Chair, can we please give him a chance?
Okay. Mr. Abellera, you are recognized.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, gina-expect ko na magsalita siya ng ganun. Dala ko naman yung affidavit ko dito na pinasa ko sa Senate. And kung payagan nyo, basahin ko lang ulit. And I think I gave a copy already sa committee ninyo about sa Senate na affidavit ko. And kung payagan nyo lang, pwede ko namang basahin, then you can review it, then pwede nyo naman akong tanungin from there.
Okay. So since, just for the record, the committee is in receipt of a copy of the affidavit of Mr. Abellera that he also gave to the Senate, no? Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. So yes, if is it
Actually, Mr. Chair, dalawa yata yung pinasa ko dyan, yung affidavit ko sa Senate before nung 2017, which I have a copy. I still have a copy. And yung affidavit ko based doon sa allegations din ni Mr. Guban dito sa Congress. But again, I leave the discretion to the Congress. Kung babasahin nila yung dalawa, then I will read it. Then,
well, I was browsing through it earlier. Medyo
Mr. Chair.
mahaba siya.
Mr.
So
Chair.
I just would like probably that the committee members be given a copy so that we can peruse over this and discuss this in the next scheduled Quadcom hearing. If that is a appropriate request from the chair.
Mr.
And-
Chair.
Yes, Congressman Abante.
Pwede naman siyang sumagot ngayon kung tumanggap siya ng 5 million. Eh. Tumanggap ba kayo ng 5 million mula kay Mark Taguba? Hindi.
ang sagot ko po dyan, hindi. Dahil alam mo niya, kung pa-explain niyo ako, alam mo niya, nung pagkita namin, na gaya ng ginasabi ko sa Senate, nahindian na ho siya. So, ano ho ang rason para bigyan niya ako ng pera kung hinindian naman siya?
Pero nakipakita ka sa kanya.
Yes, nagkita kami.
Oh. Mark, pinapatunayan mo na binigyan mo siya ng 5 million.
Opo.
Jimmy, ikaw. Alam mo ba? Kung hindi mo alam.
Separate transaction po yung sa amin, Your Honor.
Separate.
Sige, so as the chair requested earlier, because I know you are all exhausted, unless you want to continue, the chair doesn't mind. The copies of the affidavit and the affidavit that Ms. Arbilera submitted to the Senate and the new affidavit that he has submitted to us will be furnished to all the members of the committee so that we can peruse over this and discuss this in our next scheduled quad hearing. Yes, Congressman Paduano.
Last for the admin, Mr. Chairman, we have received a copy of the motion for reconsideration of former Mayor Teddy Tumang with regards to the contempt order that was issued just this afternoon, Mr. Chairman. And let me read, Mr. Chairman, the important part of the motion for reconsideration, the paragraph 5 of his motion. And to quote, in this line, I express my most profound apologies for any conduct that may have been perceived by this honorable committee to be non-cooperative and respectful, and I affirm my commitment once again to help these honorable committees in all hearings, proceedings, and investigations. With that, I humbly beg the compassion and the indulgence of this honorable committee to lift the order of contempt, for I have no willful intent to refuse to answer the relevant inquiries of the honorable committee. I am respectfully appealing to this honorable committee to reconsider the order of contempt for humanitarian reasons and for medical reasons. I am currently suffering from diabetes, and to be candid, my blood pressure is not good when I was checked by the attending house physician. Thus, I am humbly appealing and begging with you, Your Honors.
Okay, so
So with that, Mr. Chairman, since I am the movant to cite Mayor Teddy Tumang in contempt, before I move, Mr. Chairman, to lift, I just want to make it clear, Mr. Chairman, that conditional po ang lifting natin. My motion will be conditional that in the next hearing, Mr. Tumang should be present, and at the same time, he will truthfully answer all the questions that will be raised by the members of this committee. With that, Mr. Chairman, I move to lift the order of contempt for Mr. Teddy Tumang on the basis that I have manifested a while ago, Mr. Chairman. So move, Mr. Chairman.
well, I know that the movement has a compassionate heart, as well as the majority members of this committee. Therefore, there is now a motion to lift the contempt order issued to Mayor Tumang. And duly seconded. Any objections? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Mr. Chair,
Comsec.
Mark Taguba will start staying here in Congress tonight.
We still have to communicate with the Bucor. So as soon as the communication is received by the Bucor, and Comsec will make sure that the Bucor will comply.
Yes, sir. As
with
we
the order?
speak, we are sending it to the Bucor.
Okay, that's
through
good.
email.
So if the order, if the request is granted by the Bucor, then maybe he can stay already at our detention facility tonight. So any other matters? Yes,
This will be the last item in the topic for today's hearing, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, may we ask, since they were invited, may we ask all those resource persons to please take a seat, as mentioned. Former Police Lieutenant Colonel Hipana, Police Lieutenant Colonel Lamsis, Police Lieutenant Colonel Kandag, Police Lieutenant Colonel Kumbok, former Police Major Vicente Vicente, former Police Major Reo Maymay, former Police Major Kenneth Militar, former Police Colonel Ipil Dinyas, and Attorney Jerome Masoga of Napolcom 6, and Mr. Napoleon Arostoki of Napoleon 6. And Mr. Chairman, may I ask the COMSEC for all those resource persons that was mentioned to take their oath. Kindly take a seat. Mr. Chairman, habang wala pa yung COMSEC, I will just, okay. Please proceed, COMSEC.
Now, please stand and you will take your oath first. Okay, are you all here? Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so God may help you? The answer is yes, sir. From them, the oath has been administered.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, anyway, the issue about why we invited NAPOLCOM, Region 6, and of course the NAPOLCOM now. Sorry for waiting since early morning, nandito na po kayo, sir. And all of these former police officers was assigned in Region 6. And this invitation, Mr. Chairman, emanates from the discussion during the Public Order and Safety hearing last week, and this matter was referred to the Committee on Quadcom. Now, Mr. Chairman, let me just give a brief background about this. Mr. Chairman, during the time when the former president assumed office, that was August of 2016, in public, he announced all those police officers that was allegedly involved in the drug trade in the whole country. And I have all the list of those police officials that was invited at Camp Crame. And in the list are 95 police officers. And out of the 95 police officers, Mr. Chairman, 19 police officials from Region 6. Now, Mr. Chairman, well, in fact, ito po original nung binasa ng Presidente during the time. Handwritten po. Naka-handwritten, hindi kompleto, mali po ang mga pangalan. For example, in the case of Lieutenant Colonel Hipana, nakalagay po dito, Colonel Hinipa. Tapos po, well, in fact, some of those names that was mentioned, mali-mali po yung rank, some of those names that was mentioned, wala pong, hindi po kompleto yung mga pangalan. Well, in fact, one of these officer that was mentioned by the Duterte and was invited by the then PNP Chief Bato, was scolded and being granted by the former PNP Chief, now Senator Bato, in the person of Police Lieutenant Colonel, former Police Lieutenant Colonel Bumbok. Andyan po siya. Now, Mr. Chairman, in this matter, Mr. Chairman, this will prove, Mr. Chairman, that kahit ano pa ang pagdidinay ng mga police officials, former police officials, and even Senator Bato, with regards to the quota system, this will prove, Mr. Chairman, that there is such a quota system, because if not all, most of the cases that was filed for dismissal of those police officials ay quota po. The reason behind quota, tinataka na lang na involved in drug trade. Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, in today's hearing, Mr. Chairman, wala po ditong civil service because they have sent to us an excuse letter. And let me read the second to the last part of the excuse letter, Mr. Chairman. While we recognize the importance of the CAC participation in the upcoming deliberation, we will respectfully request to be excused from the meeting as it coincides with the conduct of the 2024 Directorate Conference and Fourth Quarter Executive Committee meeting of the CAC on 26 to 29 November 2024 in Baguio City. Now, Mr. Chairman, but of course, the CAC was present during the previous hearing and they have already submitted all the documents being required to them. Nandito po, voluminous, lahat ng mga cases that was filed for dismissal against and under appeal now in the CAC. Now, Mr. Chairman, before this representation, and maybe some of the members will ask questions to the resource persons, can we recognize? Isa na lang po sa inyong pwede magsalita muna para for the interest of time. Chairman, can we recognize former police superintendent, senior superintendent, tama, senior superintendent Hipana, Ronald Alan Hipana, who is previously assigned as the Regional Intelligence Unit of Region 6.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. May I be allowed to make an opening statement on behalf of our group, Mr. Chair?
Okay, please proceed.
First and foremost, we would like to praise and thank the Lord God Almighty for guiding us safely here to attend today's hearing. We thank Him for giving us the strength, the patience, the perseverance, the wisdom, and the resilience to overcome the challenges and adversities that we encountered for the last 8 years. Our unwavering faith in Him finally bore its fruit as He has opened the window and gave us this opportunity to tell our story. Likewise, we are also very grateful to this honorable committee for providing us this venue to finally air our side. It was on August 7, 2016, that our names were included in the announcement of then President Duterte as among those involved in the illegal drug trade. Amidst the chaos and confusion brought about by such announcement, we reported to Camp Crame the following day in adherence to the order of former PRRD that we appear within 24 hours. When we finally had our audience with then Chief PNP, General Bato de la Rosa, we were instantly berated and humiliated in front of national television without even bothering to hear a side first for the sake of fairness. In the bar of public opinion, we were already adjudged guilty. It is worth noting that the list that the former president used as a basis to tag our involvement in illegal drug activities was erroneous, and obviously it was never validated. Some had no first names. Names were misspelled. Ranks and designations indicated were incorrect. And in fact, one of the names mentioned, that of a certain Judge Mupas, was already dead. Further, the names of PROSIX personnel that were called has a common denominator. Almost all were formerly assigned with Iloilo City Police Office. Some were former city directors, intelligence officers, and station commanders, which was then under the operational control of Iloilo City Mayor Jed Mabilog, who was also included in the list. Notwithstanding all this, we were all made to report to PNP IAS, where they interviewed us, but nothing came out of it and no charges were filed. We were then all assigned at PHAW DPRM, placed on floating status, and months after, were eventually charged by NAPOLCOM 6. Now, what actually transpired was that we first received a memo from NAPOLCOM 6 containing no specific charges, but instead, it was only asking us to comment why our names were included in the PRRD announcement. This is a classic case of fishing expedition. True enough, they used or issued comments as basis to file cases against us for incompetence, gross neglect of duty, and conduct unbecoming of a police officer. To add, almost all of us, or if not all of us, were already assigned at PHAW DPRM Camp Crame when NAPOLCOM 6 filed a case against us. Hence, there is an issue or question of jurisdiction, as we believe that it should be the NAPOLCOM Central Office who should have initiated the filing of the case against us. While awaiting for the resolution of our cases, some of us were assigned to far-flung regions while others remained in floating status. Finally, in 2021, we all received the NAPOLCOM decision where it decided with finality a dismissal from the PNP service. However, we did not receive the resolution explaining and discussing in detail why our motions were denied. Apparently, NAPOLCOM NBank simply affirmed the decision of NAPOLCOM 6 dismissing us, and we're not even sure if they even read the arguments and valid points that we raised in our motion for reconsideration, and the absence of such resolution, in a way, confirms this presumption. As a legal recourse, we immediately elevated our case to the Civil Service Commission, where our appeal is pending until now. For the past 8 years, we struggled to overcome our predicament. We were financially, mentally, and emotionally challenged. Needless to say, our morale was also affected. We were publicly persecuted as our names were repeatedly mentioned in print and broadcast media. We had to bear the stigma of being labeled as drug protectors. And in fact, a video of us being shouted at by the former chief PNP can still be accessed in social media, a grim reminder of the injustice that was done to us. The burden of explaining to everyone who cared to ask about our situation was tiring and stressful. This burden also took a toll on our respective families. There were instances of bullying experienced by our children, and the feeling of anxiety and concern over our safety always haunts our family. But what bothered us most is that when we were finally dismissed, the nominal complainant of NAPOLCOM 6 who penned the decision of our dismissal apologized to each one of us in different occasions. According to him, they really have no basis to dismiss us, but that their hands are tied as they are only following the instructions from higher-ups. Now, the question that begs to be answered is, who are these higher-ups? To say that this apology and revelation astounded us is an understatement. We are a government of laws and not of men. The rule of law is a system of laws, institution and norms that laws, not people, rule. Damage has been done. Our reputation and credibility were tainted. Our careers and families were affected. Opportunities such as our promotions were lost. We can't turn back lost time. It is gone forever. But we must continue to move on because we believe that the quest for justice knows no time limits and has no expiration. It will always be there for the taking. You just have to fight for it. We seek justice not only for ourselves and our families, but to our beloved Iloilo City as well, which was unfairly labeled as the most tribalized city in the Philippines. This is definitely not true, and the records will bear us out. This is also an appeal for justice for our companions who were placed in the watch list and killed. Kausap mo lang sa krami sa weekdays, patay na pag uwi sa weekends. We hope that those responsible for this injustice, including those people who knew that it was wrong, but still covered it up by their silence and inaction, would be held accountable. On hindsight, we now realize that we were never actually charged or were denied due process, as our inclusion in the watch list seems to be their only basis of our dismissal. A Jewish victim of the Holocaust once said, "What is done cannot be undone, but one can prevent it from happening again." And this is exactly what this honorable committee is doing now, preventing these things we experience from happening again through legislation. And again, we would like to reiterate our gratitude to this committee for giving us this chance to raise valid and relevant issues and for being consistent in your efforts to ferret out the truth and make things right. Most importantly, we pay tribute to our families whose unconditional love, trust, and all-out support gave us the strength to overcome and endure the sacrifices that came my way. They never doubted us. No ifs, no buts. They simply believed. They got our backs, and that meant the world to us. To end, Mr. Chair, I'd like to say a line that is common among men in uniform, and it states, "Take and take until you take no more." With this hearing, Mr. Chair, hopefully we will take no more. Thank you, and to God be the glory, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Colonel Ipana. Mr. Chairman, the NAPOLCOM 6 is present today, but of course, we should understand that the present NAPOLCOM Regional Director is not the Regional Director then that handles the cases of all these police officers. During the time, unfortunately, Attorney Marty Palomar, which is the NAPOLCOM 6 Director, was already deceased. And now Attorney Jerome Asoga is now the new Region 6 Director of NAPOLCOM. But still, while Attorney Palomar was deceased, Mr. Napoleon Arostique is present today, Mr. Chairman, and he is the investigator of the cases of all those officers in Region 6. Now, do you want to say something, sir? Do you have...
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. Pursuant to memorandum issued by the NAPOLCOM Central Office, we are mandated to conduct a pre-charge investigation relative to the pronouncement of the former president on the 19 PNP personnel allegedly involved in illegal drugs. During the time, I was the acting chief of the Technical Service Division, and I was tasked to oversee the pre-charge investigation. I was not the one to conduct investigation. I was the one who oversee. And the only thing that we wanted to determine is only probable cause. So that we'll be able to recommend for summary dismissal proceedings, Your Honor.
So, did you establish probable cause?
Based on the findings of the investigator, Your Honor, they have they found probable cause and recommend for the summary dismissal.
No, what is the probable cause? Because seeing, if not all, most of the cases or most of the bases for dismissal are mere comparative operations.
Yes,
Well, in fact, ito pa po, is General former RD Diaz present? RD, please. Have a seat. RD, have you taken your oath, RD? Jen? Have you taken your oath?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is Police Superintendent Retired Floro present also? Please, can I please occupy the seat? Anyway, gusto ko lang balikan po. Kasi, Mr. Arostiki, when the Civil Service Commission submitted to this committee and to this representation all the cases that you have recommended for dismissal, almost the same yung reason. But in fact, hindi ko nga makita. Lahat doon, comparative lang. Comparative, what I mean comparative? Formerly, for example, a certain police official, specifically Major Maymay, who is assigned in, I think, in Banate, tama po ba? Tama?
Police Chief Inspector Major Vicente po, sir.
O Major Vicente. Yung case niya, nakalagay pa doon yung figures na nung time niya ituloy yung drug operation. Pag-assume ni President Duterte, ganito na karaming operation in that town. Napolcom, I will ask Napolcom, is that a basis? Kaya nga sabi ko dito kanina, in my preliminary statement, dito po, kahit na ano pang denial ng former police officials, ng former administration, yung quota system will reflect on all these cases. Yung kay Vicente, ang case niya, binasa ko, nung time niya, magkano ba yan? Yung operation mo, 12?
21.
21.
Police operation against illegal drugs, sir.
Then, yung pumalit sa iyo,
A total of 21 police operations, sir.
and then yung pumalit sa iyo,
21, sir.
yung sa iyo,
12, sir.
12. Pero yung sinundan mo,
Prior to my assumption there are no...
0.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Please, Napolcom.
Mr. Chair, good evening po. Of course, I'm not competent to discuss the rationale of the then commissioners, no? But Mr. Chair, I believe that dahil nga po meron na tayong mga reversals from CSC stating that hindi naman talaga nakapag-adduce ng substantial evidence. So perhaps dahil po sa pronouncement, yun talaga yung ginamit nung then set of commissioners or the summary hearing officers para po mag-pin down ng office ng ito po mga respondents natin. So based on evidence po, baka po talaga medyo manipis and they relied on the President's pronouncement. Doon po nila talaga parang I think ginamit. Yun po yung kanilang ginamit to find the probable cause and eventually find substantial evidence to hold the respondents guilty po.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair. Sir Arostiki, may mga attachment ng mga affidavit dun sa mga complainants?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor. During the pronouncement of the former president, talagang inadmit namin na medyo hirap kami because basis lang ng pronouncement ng presidente. But we endeavor to ask reports from the PNP mismo, ICPO and PRO 6. And then from there, we establish probable cause. It's kasi nag-undergo ito sir from probable cause, nag-recommend po summary dismissal proceeding, and then nag-recommendatory lang dito sa
Yes, sir, I know. But my question is, mayroong affidavits ba kayo na nakuha?
Wala, sir.
Wala.
Yes, sir.
Eh, supposedly ganun, di ba?
Based on official report lang.
So, General Diaz, your name was also mentioned, di ba?
Sorry po, Mr. Chair, hindi ko po narinig dahil...
Okay lang po.
Pakiulit.
Your name was also mentioned during the announcement of the President last August 7, 2016, di ba?
Hindi ko, ang aware po ako yung nabalitaan ko po yung sa Air Force anniversary. Kami po yung unang in-announce eh. Kami po yung...
In-announce na you're involved in drug trade, drug protector.
Opo.
And Colonel Floro, your name was also mentioned. Tama?
Yes, sir. Actually, my name, sir, was mentioned as Police Superintendent Floro, open close parenthesis, retired, sir. And I was from Antique.
So retired ka talaga when your name was announced?
Yes, sir.
Retired ka na?
Yes, sir.
Oh, kita mo? Anyway, may patay na, may retired na, mali-mali yung mga pangalan, yung ranks, etc. etc. Now, Sir General Diaz, Kasi your name was also mentioned. Did the Polcom file a case against you?
Yes po, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Pinalam po ako ng Napolcom.
So,
Ng administrative case po.
tapos,
Bali, dinismiss po nila ako.
dismiss yung case mo.
Hindi po, dinismiss po nila ako.
So, na-dismiss ka?
Opo. Nung,
So, hindi ka nakapag-retire?
nakapag-retire na po ako.
Bago lumabas ang dismissal?
Opo. Tapos, yun po, nag-file po kami ng appeal. Naka-appeal po yung aking dismissal po.
So, naka-appeal ngayon sa civil service din?
Hindi po, sa Supreme Court na po
Supreme
namin.
Court na kayo?
Opo, opo.
Hindi kayo dumaan sa civil service?
Hindi po.
Okay. So, na-dismiss ka rin pala?
Opo.
On the basis of what?
Hindi ko po masyado ang mukhang grave neglect of duty. Grave neglect of duty po.
Grave neglect of duty?
Opo.
O, di dismissal talaga yon. Pero ang question, anong basis nila to charge you against grave neglect of duty?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, kung sa layman's ang pagkakaintindi ko po doon sa grave neglect of duty, yung nagpabaya po ako sa trabaho, wala po akong ginawa, at hindi ko po dapat ginawa. Meron po akong dapat gawin na hindi ko ginawa. Yun po yung kanilang ginamit po na basihan na on record po mapapatunayan na hindi po totoo po lahat. Kasama ko po rito lahat itong mga
That's correct.
tawag
Correct, Jen. Because when in fact, yung tatak ng Sibulay City, ang Iloilo, hindi po totoo yun. Kasi on record po, kahit dun sa PDEA, malinaw ang record. Prior to the assumption of Duterte, magandang record sa Iloilo. Of course, nandun si Udikta. But ang sinasabi po ng mga operations, lahat-lahat po, pati record sa Iloilo, is not true. Kaya nga po, ang medyo nagdududa lang po talaga ako kasi out of the 95, 19 police officials in Iloilo. And we know Iloilo City. Kung ikabit mo sa politika, yellow country yun, and that includes my province, Negros Occidental. Ang nanalo doon ng eleksyon, siyempre si Lene Robredo. Tama. And you were then the regional director at the time.
Yes po, Your Honor, Mr. Chair. Nanalo po nung 2016 po sa presidential Secretary Maroas.
Maroas, tama. Maroas and then the Vice President, si Lene Robredo,
Vice President.
as Vice President, di ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Anyway, nanalo din doon. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, Napolcom, kasi ang case, isang case, mas nauna, no, lumabas yung desisyon ng CSE hinggil doon sa case ni former Police Superintendent Gumbok. The decision is already
But we are already in receipt of the decision. So siguro po yung PNP should already process the implementation of that order po.
2 months na. Anyway, is there any police, high-ranking police official na nandito pa? Chairman, nawala na yung mga police natin. Sino ba? Anyway, Mr. Chairman, may I respectfully move, Mr. Chairman, that COMSEC will communicate with the PNP with regards to the case of Colonel Gumbok. Kasi may decision na favorable sa kanya.
Comsec,
And to the Napolcom, please assist also so that we can help Police Superintendent Gumbok. Because that will be unfair to him. The decision is already made 2 months na. Hanggang ngayon, wala. Wala pa.
We will do, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Anyway, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
With the indulgence of the Honorable Paduano. Mr. Chair.
please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sino po yung kwan? From Napolcom Region 6? Dalawa yung taas ng kamay. Pero wala yung investigador.
Ako, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, yung nag-oversee ng pre-charge investigators in my capacity as the acting chief of the Technical Service Division during the time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, ano po yung kinarge nyo dun sa mga polis?
Your Honor, if I remember it correctly, iba-iba, Your Honor. Merong incompetence, merong grave neglect of duty, depende sa counter nila.
Alam naman po natin, nakaramihan dun sa kaso, laban sa polis, may reklamo. Tama? O may nagre-reklamo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Meron mo bang private complainant dito?
In this particular, Your Honor, in that particular case, Your Honor, wala, pero we conducted a motu proprio investigation, Your Honor.
What is the basic reason why you conducted a motu proprio investigation when there was no private complainant?
Yes, Your
Was
Honor.
there an official report from Camp Crame?
Based on the pronouncement of the former President, Your Honor.
Bakit taga Camp Crame ba si President?
Yes, Your Honor. Yung statement niya on August 7 sa Camp Panacan, Davao City,
Ano po yung
Alleging-
statement which became the basis of you to conduct an investigation against these police officers?
yung after the former President pronounced that several police were allegedly involved in illegal drugs, noong August 18, nag-issue ng memorandum yung NAPOLCOM Central Office for the NAPOLCOM Region 6 to conduct pre-charge investigation relative to the PNP personnel na pinonounce ni former President na na-assign sa Region 6, Your Honor.
Kasi yun ang tanong ko na isa. What is common among these police officers except for the fact that they are police officers? The other commonality is that they are all from Iloilo or assigned sa Iloilo. Hindi ba tama?
Tama, Your Honor.
Tama. At kayong mga investigador, hindi nyo man lang tingnan ito.
Kasama rin sa tiningnan namin, Your Honor.
What are you trying to tell me? Na meron talaga kayong na-establish na probable cause that maybe they were negligent in the performance of their duties? Shall we say they have committed mal and misfeasance?
Nung nag-submit ang pre-charge investigator, Your Honor,
Pakisagot nyo po muna ako. When do you conduct a pre-charge investigation? What is the basis?
the basis as a general rule, Your Honor, if there is a private complainant,
Wala nga private complainant Sige.
in this particular instance, Your Honor, we conducted motu proprio.
Now, when do you conduct motu proprio investigations?
If there is an allegation, Your Honor, for a alleged irregularity
And
or
where would that allegation come from?
in this particular instance, Your Honor, it came from the former President, Your Honor.
Just because i-announce yung pangalan nila na nandun po sa listahan.
Yes, Your Honor, and based on the memo issued by the NAPOLCOM Central Office, Your Honor.
And therefore, you are suggesting to this committee that the complainant was the former President of the Republic of the Philippines. Kasi sabi mo, nanggaling doon sa statement niya.
Ang complainant in this particular instance, Your Honor, is the NAPOLCOM R6 as the nominal complainant, Your Honor.
I agree that there's a nominal complainant, but the basis of your conducting motu proprio is the statement of the President as you have stated in Davao.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, sino ngayon ang complainant? Di yung Presidente. Kasi siya nagbigay ng statement na sila nandun sa listahan. Are you a lawyer? No. Hindi ba? Sabi mo sa akin.
Yung pronouncement ni former President, Your Honor, we wanted to substantiate nung sinabi niya na there are 19 PNP personnel allegedly involved in illegal drug trades as to...
I agree. And that served as your basis to investigate, right?
Your Honor.
Oh, sino ang reklamo? Hindi ba yung nag-allege siya ang nagre-reklamo? Under the law? Do you know that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. So, ano ngayon ang laban ng 19 police officers kung ang nagre-reklamo mismo ay Presidente ng Republic of the Philippines? Anong pag-asa nila? Matanong ko nga, NAPOLCOM? Wala, di ba?
Sir Arastiki, please answer the query of Chairman Ako.
Yes, Your Honor, in that particular
Yes.
instance, medyo...
Pero, personally, naniniwala ka ba that they were justly, shall we say, investigated and meted the penalty?
Sa akin, Your Honor, I have just
Ang tanong
conducted
ko,
pre-charge
personally,
investigator.
ang tanong ko, tanda mo, Iho, personally,
medyo mahirap, Your Honor, sagutin because pre-charge investigator lang kami, nagkandak ng
Ang tinatanong ko
determined
ay,
probable cause.
ano po yung personal na paniniwala po ninyo?
Based
Wala
on-
po ba kayong personal na paniniwala?
Sa personal na paniniwala ko, Your Honor, na-establish yung probable cause. Pero kung may kasalanan siya administratively, siguro, Your Honor. Ang iba sa kanila wala siguro, Your Honor.
Palagi niyong minimension ang probable cause. I-define nga sa akin yung probable cause.
Yes, Your Honor. Based on NAPOLCOM 2016-002, probable cause means is the existence of facts or circumstances that would excite a reasonable mind acting on the facts and circumstances. The investigator finds that the respondent is probably guilty of the administrative offense or offenses, Your Honor.
Ang offense po nila nasa drug list sila Tama? Dahil sinabi ng presidente.
I agree, Your Honor.
Ano po yung mga katotohanan or fact at saka information na nagsasabi na totoo yun?
I could not really, Your Honor. Kasi yung sa akin, as pre-charge investigator, yun,
Iho,
probable cause lang, Your Honor.
para hindi na tayo magtagal, napapagod na yung aking mga kasamahan Siguro aminin mo na lang na talagang sinunod nyo lang na i-dismiss sila dahil ang complainant ay yung President ng Republic of the Philippines. Nobody will not follow. Maski ako siguro ang nandun sa pwesto mo, gagawin ko yon. Aminin mo na kasi.
Your Honor, if I may. Kasi nasa proseso, Your Honor, may summary dismissal proceedings pa, Your Honor. Yung sa aming pre-charge investigator.
I'm telling you already na it's a sham yung ginawa nyo sa kanila. Would you agree, Vice Chair?
Mr. Chair, it would be difficult to answer as I have no personal knowledge on the cases, but I would agree that there would be certainly a bias against the officers
Simply because,
of the naming them in the list.
yes,
Chair.
ayaw nyo lang kasi aminin Kasi, hindi ko alam kung takot ka pa rin kayo. Kagaya ni Gerald Villanueva. Di ba? Ayaw nyo aminin. Nagtataka ako. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Abante.
ano po yung pangalan nyo? Kayo po yung investigador? Ano po yung pangalan nyo?
Ako, sir, si Napoleon Arostiki, Jr.
Okay. Napakalinaw po ng tanong ni Congressman Akop Nag-iisip ka pa ng sasagot mo Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, nag-iisip ka pa. Na alam mo naman na mali ang ginawa ninyo. The thing is this, Ilan ng 19 to? 19 policemen na mayroong sariling pamilya. Naisip niyo ba yun? Samantala yung nag-utos sa inyong dating Pangulo, makapangyarihan, isa lang ang pamilya. Pero ito, 19 police officers, may mga pamilya, may mga anak, mawawala ang kanilang mga benepisyo. Naisip mo ba yun? Naisip mo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi mo naisip. Kung naisip mo yon, iba ang magiging pananaw mo. Hindi ka makikinig sa Pangulo, dating Pangulo, sapagkat mali yung sinabi niya. Ngayon, sabi ni Congressman ako, hanggang ngayon ba takot ka? Huwag tayong tumayo roon sa takot. Tumayo tayo sa tama. Now, tatanungin kita, alam ko naman personally, tama sila mali ka Alam ko naman yun, di ba? Ngayon, ito ang tanong. Ano may tutulong mo sa kanila ngayon? Ano may tutulong mo?
Just like what our Vice Chair have mentioned, we will help them, Your Honor.
How can you help them now?
If they will file the motion for recon or any appeal, then we will help.
Superintendent, magpapile daw kayo ng motion for recon. Ano ba to? Hindi na pwede. Kaya nga sinabi niya, hindi na pwede. So, ang tanong ko, how can you help them now? Yan, nawala na ang kanilang benefit. Nawala na. Alright. Wala na yung kinabukasan nila.